Hey guys, welcome to episode 16 of the Early Parenting Podcast. Today's episode is a mindset episode and one designed to help you feel as though you aren't alone in this world of parenting. I asked a question over on my Instagram at Jen Butler Early Parenting for those of you yet to join me on my crazy ride. And I asked mums what was the biggest thing they were struggling with at the moment around parenting their babes. The most common response was managing their emotions and wishing they had more patience and felt less frustrated with their baby or toddler. So today's episode is going to explore my thoughts on this and tips on how to manage your emotions in this wild world of parenting. Welcome to the Early Parenting Podcast, where we help you navigate the somewhat tricky world of parenthood so you can love the crap out of being a mum. I'm your host, Jen Butler, and I'm an early parenting consultant and a mama of two busy boys. Join me as I explore all things early parenting and deliver them to you in toddler-friendly, bite-sized lessons because, let's be honest, the toddler is probably smothering pseudo-cream on the wall as we speak. I'll be dropping my hottest tips on baby and toddler sleep, feeding, boobs, behaviour, and so much more. Are you ready to find your flow in motherhood? Let's dive in. This episode is brought to you by my brand new Early Rising ebook. Now, this ebook is every parent's dream if you have fallen victim to the early rise. You know, the one where it is 5:30, the monitor goes off, and you have been waking up at this time for such a long time that you don't even know when or how it started. Well, this ebook is absolutely chock-a-block full of practical tips and strategies on how to identify the cause of early rising and, of course, how to troubleshoot it. And I'm talking nitty-gritty, deep dive, step-by-step strategies. So you will always be able to refer back to this baby whenever the early rising hits your household again. So make sure to check out my ebook at www.jenniferbutler.com.au/shop. On to the episode. Okay, so let's dive in. The first point I want to reiterate is that so many of you wrote that you wished you had more patience and felt less frustrated with your babe. So first up, I want you to understand that with this frustration you are feeling, almost every other mum is totally feeling your jam. You are not alone and you are not a bad mum for getting wound up. Please repeat that many times over. We are all built very differently. This comes down to different personalities. Have you always considered yourself as a chilled out, go with the flow person? Often these personalities innately have more patience. Perhaps you're more of a fiery person, someone who gets angry or stressed or frustrated easily. I'm currently raising my hand. This is 100% me, and as a result, I know I have a shorter fuse than others. This doesn't make me a bad mum. It just makes me self-aware, and I know when I'm reaching my limit and when to take a break. Understand that you are who you are, and learning when you're getting to your limits is important. Self-awareness, emotional intelligence is key here. And of course, being able to work on strategies to calm yourself, which we'll talk about shortly. Now, parenting burnout. Everyone talks about burnout when it comes to work and other areas of their life, but we seldom hear it in relation to the world of parenting. When you're at home, day in, day out, dealing with baby and toddler emotions, being a snack bitch, negotiating naps, and putting your babe's emotions above your own while running a household, it's no wonder we get burnt out as parents. Understanding when your cup needs refilling is key to improving your patience and managing your emotions with your baby or toddler. You can't fill from an empty cup, so make sure your cup is full first so that you have something left to give to fill up our babe's emotional cups. Now, sometimes there is more going on than just a bit of burnout. Postnatal depression and anxiety can see mums feel anger and frustration a lot easier than they normally would. If you've noticed that you're a lot angrier or reactive than you usually would be, and this seems to have been going on for longer than just a few days or a few weeks, I urge you to get in touch with a health professional. Whether that's your child health nurse, whether it's a GP, whether it's even just picking up the phone to Panda, who is Perinatal Anxiety and Depression Australia. They have a free telephone line where there's counsellors on the other end, and you can just have a chat over the phone when your baby or toddler is asleep and just chat with them and see what they think about the way you're feeling and what they recommend. It eases the load of what you're carrying around and helps to get you the help you need if you do need some extra help. It's okay to need a little bit of extra help every now and then. And now the last point I want to talk about is a little bit about what to do when you're feeling as though you're losing your patience and getting frustrated in the moment. So sometimes we feel that we need to stay with our babies or toddlers when they're having difficult emotions, but often it's at the detriment to our own emotions. So if you're feeling frustrated, I urge you to remove yourself from the situation, even just for a little bit. Obviously, we don't want to always be ignoring our baby or toddler's needs, but if you're staying with your crying baby at a settle or your tantruming toddler and you're feeling super agitated, frustrated, or overwhelmed, it's a recipe for disaster because it's only going to rub off on your baby and toddler and make them more upset. If you are overwhelmed, take a breather, away from the chaos and regroup. If someone else is home, better yet, ask them to take over. Don't push through when you aren't managing. It's not good for you and it's not good for your child. And whenever you can, book in some self-care time to get your cup refilled. Anyway, I hope that has given you some ideas and some understanding around the fact that we all, first of all, have periods of feeling frustrated. We all have different levels for how quickly we get frustrated. It's okay to feel this way. It's about being able to identify it and know when you need to take a little bit of time for yourself to recharge, even if it's a quick breather in the moment and back to it, or something bigger to help you feel less burnt out as a parent. Anyway, I will be back here once again next week with a brand new episode, so I look forward to you joining me then. Bye for now. Thank you so much for joining me in today's episode, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please head on over to your podcast streaming app, whether that's Apple or Spotify, and leave me a review. I want this podcast to get to as many ears as possible so that other mums who might be having the same questions as you can find a little bit of information to help their parenting journey along. And you know what? While you're over there leaving a review, please feel free to subscribe so you don't miss a single one of my episodes. And don't forget to hit me up on my socials, Facebook and Instagram, @JemButler Early Parenting. Can't wait to bring you your next episode. I'll see you back here again then.